Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Second Take. I'm your host, Armand Sadler. I'm very happy. Spring break has begun. I'm home, relaxing. School sucks, so it is nice to not be in cold Ithaca. What's up, Joe?
Well, I'm not in spring break because us normal people had spring break about 2 weeks ago. So I'm in school this weekend with Texas Relays, which was super fun to go out and watch. It's beautiful weather here, which is really surprising, but it's not hot and humid and horrible. So let's go, Texas. Nice work.
Joe, you're right. I'm not a normal person. I'm an Ivy Leaguer. That's why our break is late.
Oh, okay.
Very
Ooh,
break.
Mr. Ivy League.
You don't
Okay.
have to be jealous. You don't have to be jealous. But anyways, so to start, some very unfortunate news for me. The Thunder have been battling injuries all season. Russell Westbrook and KD were out for a lot of it. KD came back, then he left, then he came back, then he left again. He'll be out for 4 to 6 months with foot injury, so we will not have him for the playoffs. I was really thinking that we could pull things together, make a nice run. I don't think Russell will be able to do what he's doing during the regular season in the playoffs, especially when teams like the Grizzlies and the Spurs and the Mavericks turn it up in the playoffs as they always do. So we'll see. I obviously have to have some faith in my squad, but it's hard to do so when our superstar will not be out on the court. But there's some happy news for you, right? When one of your players.
Well, yeah. Let me say something about KD. It sucks, man. But I hope he can bounce back from it. Sometimes you just gotta take the time off, let your body heal. You keep trying to push it and push it and push it, and it just gets worse. So it's good for him to take this time. And I'm glad you're kind of finally seeing the light when it comes to the Thunder and going into the playoffs, because I don't think that they are going to be able to go very far in the playoffs. Stop giving me a look. The Western Conference is an incredible conference. Got to talk about my Warriors real quick. Clinched their playoff spot. I am so excited for the Western Conference playoffs. That's all I have to say. Not very excited for the Eastern Conference. That's pretty much going to suck. There's some drama on the Cavs with Kevin Love and LeBron. LeBron's been leaving him out of his post-game Instagram, so there's drama in Cleveland. Yeah, I'm going to just let that statement sit there because I don't really care to elaborate. But, playoffs are going to be fun. Oh, I'm so excited for the Western Conference. That's going to be so much fun. But, yes, I do have good news. Finally, my boy Dwight is back. Dwight Howard, DH12, he is back. I'm so happy. The Rockets are really, really making a strong playoff push. They're going to be in it no matter what, but they're one of the very dominant teams going into the playoffs, and James Harden's going for that MVP. He's my MVP, so that's who I'm voting for. It's really, and Steph Curry is up there. The Western Conference is going to be so much fun. I can't say anything more than that. This is going to be so fun. It could be one of the best Western Conference playoffs we've ever seen. It's going to be so fun.
You probably said fun like 15 times in that last.
Okay, well, it's going to be really fun, so there's 16.
I mean, it's okay. It is going to be fun. You're right. But I definitely want to talk about that Cavs thing because I actually read an article on that. Basically, Kevin Love said me and LeBron James are not best friends, and people are making a huge deal out of it. I'm not that surprised. I mean, when you're the number one option for the Minnesota Timberwolves and you go to a stacked Cleveland Cavaliers team, it's very hard for you to fit in and develop that chemistry when you're used to being the guy. Kevin Love is basically he's acting like Mike Miller for them, basically. All he does is shoot. He barely gets rebounds because they have Tristan Thompson. He's not touching the ball often because they have LeBron James, and Kyrie Irving's been stepping it up a lot lately. So I'm not that surprised that there's a disconnect there. I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Love left next season. There's a lot of people thinking Kevin Love's going to leave next season, and I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, and the Cavaliers have a lot of talent. They really can go far. And the chemistry is slowly getting there, except for Kevin Love and LeBron, and really the main pieces of their offense that could be absolutely unstoppable if they came together. But, it's hard. And that's the problem with stacking all these teams with all these superstars, because you get guys who are used to being – oh, my. You get guys who are used to being the guy, and then they go somewhere else and they have to share the spotlight. And I mean, I don't think Kevin Love is that selfish of a guy, but being the number one option on a team for so long, you kind of get used to that. And then going elsewhere and being the number 3, maybe number 4. It's just not. So I'm really not shocked by it. But we'll see. We'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
I mean, I've always said that, and like, a lot of people don't realize like these guys aren't best friends. Like yeah, they're teammates, but they're not best friends. Like Dwight Howard came out in an interview and was like, "Me and Kobe weren't best friends. Me and James Harden aren't best friends. We're teammates." Like, and people have to realize that like they're not besties. It's just not how the sport works. It's a competitive sport. If that's your best friend might steal your starting position. That's not a very good best friend, it's business. So yeah, people need to realize that. Anthony sent me an article about a possibility of Kevin Love and Russell Westbrook hitting up the Lakers next year. So I'm gonna cross my fingers for that. But should we dive into college?
I mean, what else is there to talk about?
All right. There is a reason for my shirt today, my Texas basketball shirt. We have fired Rick Barnes. Or sorry, it was fired yesterday. Today it was a mutual agreement to part ways. So I'll be PC and call it a mutual agreement to part ways. I have been waiting for this moment for so long. He has been our coach for 17 years. So it's been a long time coming. We have not reached the Final Four since 2003. Rick Barnes did recruit some amazing players by the likeness of Kevin Durant, Tristan Thompson, people we just spoke about, TJ Ford, obviously. Really great players. Can't discredit his recruiting abilities and the amazing people who've come out of Texas, but we have never gotten anything done. We are 10-34 in the past 4 seasons against ranked opponents or something like that, which just sucks. Point blank sucks. I mean, we started off the 10th in the country this year and then fell to unranked, unspoken everything. No one even knew we were still here. Unacceptable. He should have been gone a few years ago. It's a culture change that we needed at UT, and especially in the basketball program. Everybody, it's like graduation goggles when you realize you're not going to see someone ever again. They start posting nice things. Rick Barnes spoke the nicest about Texas and Austin that he ever has in his 17 years here in a press conference today. So thanks for finally appreciating us, I guess. Players have come out. Kevin Durant posted saying, "You're more than a coach. You're like a father figure." I'm still voting graduation goggles. I don't think Kevin Durant sees Rick Barnes as his father figure. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I'm just going out there with that statement. But yeah, it's big news here. It's big news. Really should have done this last year. It should have been we lose Mac, we lose the Lost Dogs, the athletic director, and we lost Rick Barnes. But instead, he hangs around for another year just to get the boot. So now Texas is looking for a new head coach. I believe I am the front running for this position. So welcome, right, guys? Let's go Texas basketball.
Anyways, to talk about March Madness, something that is actually happening because Joe coaching Texas is like me being Hispanic. Anyways, so it's been a crazy tournament so far. We saw Villanova lose in the second round to NC State. We saw Louisville fall to Michigan State. Michigan State is in the Final Four again. And we are currently in the midst of Duke versus Gonzaga, which is looking like a very good game. So my Final Four is completely in shambles. The only thing I have correct is Kentucky. If Gonzaga wins, then I'll have them. But, right now my bracket's looking bad, as always. How's your bracket looking?
Well, I have Villanova in the Final Four, so... I also have Duke in there, so let's hope that works. Who else do I have? Wisconsin, maybe? I think, yeah. I was ish there. Kentucky, obviously. We got to talk about the Kentucky-Notre Dame game last night. That was probably the greatest college basketball game I've ever seen. I want to, issue an apology to Notre Dame because I did not take y'all seriously enough. I did not know y'all were that good. Last night blew my mind. I could not. I wasn't okay. I don't know how Kentucky fans or Notre Dame fans survived that game because I'm an unbiased party and I was not emotionally okay. I was really pulling for Kentucky because I want to get one thing right in my bracket, and it is that they win the national championship. And I mean, I was losing it. I thought I was gonna start crying. That was an emotional roller coaster. They barely got out of that. Barely. clutch free throws. I mean, that's what won it because that game, it was a 2-point game, right? That's how they won 2 points. I mean, God, that game was. Woo! I didn't think I was gonna make it out of there alive. Like I didn't think I was gonna survive watching that game. That was an amazing basketball game. I mean, neck and neck. Kentucky was down most of the game too, and it's just they proved like this is why they're undefeated because they're that good.
Yeah, Notre Dame definitely gave Kentucky the hardest time that any team has given Kentucky all season. We saw them beat West Virginia, the 5th seed, 78-39. Like
oh yeah, wait, real quick about that. Big 12. This is literally why we can't have nice things. All of us suck. No more Big 12 teams in the tournament. Yeah, because he just spoke about the West Virginia game. Also, Armand made me retract this statement last week, but I said Wichita State was going to upset Kansas, and they upset Kansas. So literally all the Big 12 teams are out. Oklahoma lost, which obviously I'm not upset about, to Michigan State. So well done, Michigan State. But Big 12, we can't have nice things, and this is why. We get blown out by Kentucky by 40 points. Continue.
Oh, of course. Yeah, but what Notre Dame basically did was expose Kentucky, that Kentucky does have some flaws. You know, that they're not the perfect team that we think they are. Despite the fact they went undefeated and they've been killing throughout the tournament, Notre Dame gave them a very, very, very good game. And that's what March Madness is all about. You want to see tough games between good teams. You want to see upsets. You want to see craziness. You want to be on the edge of your seat and watch the game to the very last second. And that's what we got with the Kentucky-Notre Dame game. I think that Kentucky is going to go into the next game not apprehensive, but they might be slightly shaken because, as I said, no one has contended with Kentucky the way Notre Dame did. So the next team that they play, which will be Wisconsin, that's going to be a very, very, very good game. That's 2 number 1 seeds. And a lot of people think that Wisconsin could get the job done. A lot of people thought Arizona was going to beat Wisconsin, then beat Kentucky, then go to the Final Four. To the national championship. But, clearly that's not going to happen. But Wisconsin definitely has a very good chance of beating Kentucky, especially after the last game. I don't know. Wisconsin definitely should watch that film and do what Notre Dame did, but do it better. It's that simple.
I'm pulling for Kentucky. I don't want Kentucky losing. I think that they prove to us that through adversity they're going to pull it off. That's what I learned from this Notre Dame game. Because if you look at all the stats, if you look at it on paper, Notre Dame should have won that game. And they didn't. And there's a reason for that. And it's because Kentucky plays their butts off, and they do not give up. And it will be a close game with Wisconsin. But Kentucky, they want this too bad. They want it way too bad. They almost had it last year, and I think that has propelled them throughout this entire season, that they were that close. They were so close last year, and it was just ripped. And as the Longhorns were in the national championship for football in 2009, I know what it's like to be a fan and have that ripped. So I can't imagine being a player and having that ripped out of your hands. So they're gonna make sure they can win this game. We gotta talk about Michigan State. They're going to the Final Four, 7th appearance for Tom Izzo. These coaches that we're watching in this tournament are incredible.
Yep.
Incredible. 7 Final Fours. And yeah. I was just talking about Rick Barnes hasn't been to one since 2003. That's a decade. Over a decade. But Tom Izzo, whew.
Yeah, Michigan State was also the 7th seed, so I'm sure not many people thought that they would go as far as they have. But if it's Michigan State versus Duke, who do you think is taking that?
I can't, because, you're right. They were a 7th seed, but you can never rule Michigan State out because they're just a good program, and Tom Izzo's a great coach. But Duke has a lot of talent, but they're not good on the defensive end. They're very good on the offensive end, but not defensively. But you're comparing 2 amazing coaches. You're looking at Coach Izzo and Coach K, and I think that'd be an amazing game. It's gonna be a fun game. I think it would come down to the wire, and it would really. I guess I think I would have to go Duke pulling it out. I think they're fourth in NCAA basketball for field goal percentage or something like that, which is just an insanely high percentage of field goals made. And shots are points. Points make you win the game. So
Usually.
ooh, that'd be a good game. That's tough. I can't definitively answer that because you can't rule Michigan State out. They've proven that. Give them a 7 seed and they're gonna make it to the Final Four. Like, ooh.
Now,
That's tough.
now what if it's Michigan State versus Gonzaga?
Michigan State.
Really? Wow.
I don't have faith in Gonzaga. I don't think Gonzaga. If Gonzaga beats Duke today, I might have to reconsider a lot of things. But I don't know. Gonzaga's like a young, new success type of team. They do really well in the tournament, but like they've never really gotten that push. And it's like I said, for Michigan State, it's coaching is what matters in college. It's not so much in the pros, but it is in college. And 7 Final Four appearances speak for itself.
Sure. Yeah, I would probably go with Michigan State if it's Michigan State versus Duke. Michigan State versus Gonzaga, I can't. Gonzaga. It would be a very close game. I don't know.
But what makes you so sure that they would beat Duke?
I have no faith in Duke whatsoever. I think that they really, despite the fact they clearly made they're looking like they're about to make it to the Final Four, maybe. They tend to crumble in the tournament very often. We've seen the first round exits. We've seen the early exits. We've seen them be the favorite to win, and they haven't gotten it done.
Hey, are you still mad about last year?
Slightly.
Yeah, now he got to the bottom of it. He has beef with Duke because Duke ruined his bracket.
Well, hey, now let's not bring up the past, okay? But yes, I am salty at Duke. I do not like Duke because they've ruined my bracket on so many occasions. I cannot put my faith in them anymore. I can't do it. So Michigan State's gonna beat them.
All right. Well, the Duke and Gonzaga game's still going on. There is 3 minutes and 38 seconds left in the game. Duke is up 55-51. So hopefully Duke pulls this out. So like my bracket can kind of be right, but I think everyone's enemy after this tournament is going to be the Big 12, and rightly so, because we ruined just about everything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, the Big 12 pretty much sucks. Like, I picked Texas to win in the first round, and they didn't do it.
I only picked us to win because I was, like, trying not to curse us or jinx us, but I knew we weren't going to win.
Well, yeah, so hopefully you guys can get yourselves a better coach, and get some recruits. And
Coach Kushner, the second Coach K.
No, Coach Kushner should not be a thing, but, there are a lot of other guys out there who are capable.
Or girls.
Girls, yes, girls. But Jillian Kushner should stick to her senior year of college that's coming up. She should graduate. And then, maybe you can look into coaching, like, little league basketball.
Okay.
I don't really think you're ready for college, basketball coaching. But, it's been a fun episode, guys. Discussed a lot. Definitely tune into that Duke-Gonzaga game that's about to end. We will be back next week. Perhaps with more complaints about how our brackets are just in shambles. Probably will be revering Kentucky for prevailing. But yes, so leave a comment on the page, subscribe to our YouTube page, and yeah, continue watching sports. I mean, what else is there to do? And we will see you next week.